When life crushes you, when you feel like every breath is heavy and your chest carries a storm, understand this: broken is not the end, broken is the beginning. Pain is the universe's way of carving strength into your soul. You are not fragile because you've been shattered. You are unbreakable because you're still standing after the world tried to bury you. The nights you cried yourself to sleep, the mornings you woke with emptiness, the battles nobody saw, those are not signs of weakness. They are proof that fire still burns inside you. People will doubt you, circumstances will suffocate you, even your own mind will betray you. But hear this: the same pressure that breaks glass also forges diamonds. You have two choices when you feel broken: stay on the floor or rise with scars that tell the story of a warrior who refused to die in silence. Broken bones grow back stronger, broken souls rise fiercer, and broken minds unlock wisdom no comfort could ever teach. When you feel broken, it's not the death of you, it's the rebirth of the version of you that the world will never be able to chain again. Brokenness is the foundation of strength, because without being torn apart, without being stripped down to the rawest version of ourselves, we never truly discover what we are made of. Most people believe strength is built in comfort, in smooth journeys, in easy victories. But the truth is that comfort creates softness, and softness creates weakness. Strength is not gifted, it is forged. And the furnace where it is forged is the furnace of brokenness. When life takes everything you thought you needed, when it humiliates you, when it crushes you to the ground and leaves you with nothing but pain, that is when the real work begins. That is when the layers of illusion, excuses, and false identities are ripped away, leaving only the core of who you are. That core is what grows into unshakable strength. Think of the times in your life when you thought you couldn't go on, when your chest was heavy, when tears blurred your vision, when you thought the world would not miss you if you disappeared. Yet here you are, breathing, surviving, moving forward despite everything. That is not weakness. That is strength being born in silence, in shadows, when no one was there to applaud you. Brokenness hurts, but it's the pain of transformation. Just like muscles must be torn during training before they grow stronger, the human spirit must be tested, shattered, and rebuilt. You cannot become resilient without resistance. You cannot build courage without facing fear. You cannot understand your own worth until you've been devalued, dismissed, and left behind. The beauty of brokenness is that it removes the illusion of invincibility. When you've been broken, you know how fragile life is, how fast it can all be taken from you. And that knowledge doesn't weaken you, it empowers you. You stop taking things for granted. You stop wasting time on meaningless distractions. You stop begging for approval because you realize how quickly people can vanish when you fall. Brokenness strips away the false friends, the fake support, the shallow comforts. It leaves you standing alone with nothing but yourself. And in that isolation, you discover the most important truth. You are enough. You are capable. You are powerful beyond belief. There is a reason why the most powerful stories in history, the greatest leaders, the strongest warriors, all come from brokenness. They were not born with silver spoons. They were not handed crowns. They were betrayed, abandoned, exiled, beaten, mocked, and broken into pieces. Yet from those pieces, they built something indestructible. Their brokenness gave them wisdom, empathy, and clarity. It gave them a deeper hunger than anyone else around them. People who have never been broken often crumble at the first storm, but those who have lived through hell have already been tempered by fire. Their strength isn't borrowed, it isn't fake. It's real, unshakable, and permanent. When you are broken, you start to realize that pain is not the enemy. Pain is the teacher. Pain shows you where your limits are, and then it pushes you beyond them. Every scar becomes a story. Every setback becomes fuel. Every failure becomes a weapon. You stop being afraid of falling because you've already fallen before and survived. That's why brokenness is the ultimate foundation of strength. It inoculates you against fear. You've been crushed. You've been humiliated. You've been forgotten. Yet here you are, unbroken in spirit, rising again when the world thought you were finished. That is strength no comfort zone could ever give you. Most people pray to avoid suffering, but the strongest people understand suffering is what forges greatness. Do you think a warrior fears the battlefield? Do you think a lion fears the hunt? No, because both have lived through struggle, through blood, through pain, and that is why they dominate. You too are a warrior. You too are a lion. Your brokenness is not a punishment. It is preparation. It is shaping you into someone unrecognizable to your past self, someone who cannot be intimidated by hardship. And so when you feel broken, remember this: the cracks in your soul are not signs of weakness. They are the places where light gets in. They are proof that you were tested and did not vanish. They are proof that life tried to bury you, but you refused to stay underground. You are stronger today, not because of what you've achieved, but because of what you've endured. Every tear, every betrayal, every failure, every sleepless night. They are the bricks of the fortress that is your strength. The next time life breaks you, don't ask, why me? Instead ask, what is this making me into? Because that pain is molding you into someone who cannot be destroyed. Brokenness is the chisel that carves warriors out of ordinary men and women. It is the storm that washes away weakness, the fire that burns away doubt, the hammer that shapes iron into steel. Embrace it. Walk into it. Let it do its work. Because when it's finished, you won't just be strong, you'll be unstoppable. Pain is proof of survival, not defeat, because the very fact that you feel pain means you are still here, still breathing, still in the fight. Pain is the loudest reminder that life has not claimed you, that you have not surrendered. Too many people look at pain as the end, as the signal that they are broken beyond repair. But in reality, pain is not the conclusion of your story. It is the evidence that your story continues. If you were truly finished, you wouldn't feel anything. Pain is not the whisper of weakness. It is the roar of existence. It is the echo of your body, your mind, and your spirit declaring, I am still here. Think about every time you've been hurt, every time your heart cracked, every time you thought you couldn't go on. Did the pain not become the thing that forced you to move, to adapt, to grow? Pain is not defeat, because defeat is silence. Defeat is giving up. Defeat is when you lie down and refuse to rise again. Pain does the opposite. It wakes you, it shakes you, it demands that you fight back. It demands that you rebuild yourself. Even if your hands are trembling, it forces you to confront who you are without the mask of comfort. Pain is the most honest mirror you will ever face. Because in your worst agony, you can't pretend, you can't fake, you can't run. You have to deal with yourself at the rawest level. And that confrontation is where strength is born. So many people spend their lives trying to avoid pain, and in doing so, they avoid growth. They numb themselves with distractions, with substances, with excuses, because they think comfort will save them. But comfort is the slowest form of decay. You may not hurt, but you aren't alive either. Pain proves that you are alive, that you are battling, that something inside you refuses to be silent. The strongest people are not the ones who avoided pain. They are the ones who embraced it, endured it, and came out the other side with scars that tell a story of survival. Every scar is a trophy. Every tear is a medal. Every painful moment you endured is proof you didn't give up when life gave you every reason to. Pain is also the greatest teacher. Success doesn't teach you resilience. Victories don't teach you hunger. Comfort doesn't teach you gratitude. Pain teaches you all of that and more. It humbles you. It sharpens you. It makes you appreciate the moments of peace, the small victories, the breaths without heaviness. Pain teaches you empathy because you know what it's like to suffer. It makes you unshakable because once you've lived through your worst, the little problems of the world no longer break you. Pain refines your perspective. It shows you what really matters and what was never important at all. There is no defeat in feeling pain. The only defeat is surrendering to it. Pain is a signal to rise, not a sentence to fall. Look at your life. How many times have you thought you couldn't carry on, and yet you did? How many times have you said, this is too much, only to find yourself stronger, wiser, and tougher on the other side? That is survival, not defeat. That is pain proving to you that you are tougher than you ever imagined. When you carry pain, you carry proof of battles fought. You carry evidence of resilience, evidence that you endured nights when your mind screamed at you to give up. Survival is not pretty, it is messy, it is raw, it is filled with scars and exhaustion, but survival is victory. Pain is the badge of that victory. It means you chose to stand up one more time when you had every reason to stay down. The world wants you to believe that pain is weakness. That's a lie. Pain is the initiation into strength. Weakness is running from pain, hiding from it, denying it. Strength is facing it head on, walking through the fire and refusing to let it define you. Every time you feel pain, remind yourself, this is not defeat. This is proof I am still here. This is proof I refuse to quit. The day you stop feeling pain is the day you stop living. As long as it hurts, as long as your heart aches, as long as your body resists, you are in the fight. And being in the fight is everything. Survival is about showing up one more day, breathing one more breath, taking one more step, even when it feels impossible. Pain is the evidence that you're still fighting, still alive, still refusing to bow. So when life breaks you and pain consumes you, don't curse it, embrace it. Understand that it is your companion, your proof, your reminder that you have not been defeated. Every second you endure pain, you prove to the world and to yourself that you are stronger than what tried to break you. Pain does not mean the end. It means you are still on the battlefield, still alive. And as long as you are alive, there is no defeat. Pressure creates resilience and greatness because nothing extraordinary has ever been born in ease. Diamonds are created under pressure. Steel is forged in fire. And warriors are molded in battle, not in comfort. Pressure is the silent architect of strength, the invisible force that pushes you beyond the limits you once thought defined you. Without pressure, there is no growth. Without resistance, there is no resilience. Without challenge, there is no greatness. The moments when life corners you, when everything feels overwhelming, when the weight of responsibility and failure presses down on your chest, that is the moment you are being built into something stronger. Pressure is not punishment, it is preparation. Think about it. When has comfort ever created anything worth remembering? Comfort breeds complacency, and complacency robs people of their potential. But pressure wakes you up. Pressure forces you to adapt, to think faster, to act stronger, to survive when survival seems impossible. It strips away laziness and demands effort. It doesn't care if you're ready. It doesn't care if you're tired. It doesn't wait for you to feel confident. It simply shows up and says, prove yourself. And every time you face that challenge, every time you refuse to fold, your resilience grows, you become tougher, sharper, harder to break. Pressure teaches you lessons comfort never could. It shows you who you really are when excuses are gone. It reveals the strength hidden inside you, the strength you wouldn't have discovered without being forced into the fire. Pressure takes your fears, your doubts, your insecurities, and crushes them until the only thing left is your raw determination to rise. That's why people who have lived through struggle often carry a presence of fire that those who have lived in ease cannot match. They've been tempered by hardship. They know what it means to be tested. They've been shaped by pressure into something unshakable. Greatness has never come from the easy road. Look at any champion, any innovator, any leader who has changed the world. They were all forged under immense pressure. They faced setbacks, criticism, betrayal, and failure, yet those pressures became the fuel for their transformation. Every no, every closed door, every failure pressed them to either break or grow stronger, and they chose to grow. That is why they stand where they stand and why others remain average. Greatness does not come from privilege. It comes from pressure and how you choose to respond to it. Resilience is not built when things are simple. Resilience is born when everything feels like it's collapsing and yet you keep moving. Pressure makes you resourceful. It forces you to discover solutions you never thought you could create. It forces you to keep pushing even when your body screams for rest. It forces you to believe in yourself when no one else does. Every ounce of resilience you carry today was built under some form of pressure yesterday. Every storm you've survived, every hardship you've endured, every weight you've carried, that was life shaping you into someone who cannot be crushed easily. Pressure is also the great separator. It reveals those who fold and those who fight. Under pressure, the weak make excuses, the average quit, but the strong transform. Pressure doesn't care about your intentions. It only responds to your actions. It doesn't ask you if you're ready. It simply demands you rise. That's why embracing pressure instead of fearing it is the secret to greatness. When everyone else runs from it, you stand in it, and that is what makes you unstoppable. Pressure also teaches discipline. It trains you to stay calm when chaos surrounds you, to think clearly when the noise is deafening, to act decisively when hesitation could destroy you. The more pressure you face, the more you learn to operate with sharpness under fire. That ability to stay focused when others panic, to move forward when others freeze, is what defines leaders, champions, and warriors. Greatness is not the absence of pressure. It is mastery under pressure. Every time you endure pressure, you're building proof for yourself. Proof that you can handle more than you thought. Proof that you don't break when the world pushes against you. Proof that no matter how heavy the load, you can carry it. And once you know that about yourself, once you've lived through storms and survived, nothing can intimidate you again. You walk with a different fire because you know you've been tested and you know you've prevailed. So don't curse the pressure in your life. Don't run from it. Don't pray for it to vanish. Instead, embrace it as the force that is shaping you into the greatest version of yourself. Pressure is not the enemy. It is the sculptor. It is chiseling away your weakness, carving out your fear, and shaping the masterpiece of resilience and greatness that lives inside you. Without it, you would remain ordinary. With it, you rise beyond what you ever imagined. Pressure is the gift life gives to those destined for more. It may feel like a burden now, but one day you will look back and realize it was the very thing that built your strength, sharpened your mind, and unlocked your greatness. Diamonds do not resent the pressure that made them. Steel does not curse the fire that hardened it. And one day you too will not resent the storms. You will thank them because they made you resilient. They made you powerful. They made you great. Every scar is a symbol of rebirth and power because scars are not signs of weakness. They are proof of survival. They are reminders that you walked through fire and came out the other side alive. A scar is not something to hide, it is a badge of honor. A declaration that pain tried to destroy you, but failed. Too many people look at scars, whether physical or emotional, as flaws, as things that make them less. But the truth is the opposite. Scars are evidence that you were tested, that you were broken, and that you refuse to stay broken. Every scar carries a story of transformation, a story of a person who endured pain and emerged stronger than before. Rebirth never comes without suffering. To be reborn, a part of you must first be destroyed. Old habits, old versions of yourself, old illusions, they all have to be shattered. That shattering hurts. It leaves marks and it leaves scars. But those scars are not there to shame you. They are there to remind you of the new life you built from the ashes of the old one. Just as a seed must crack open before it can grow, you too had to break before you could transform. Every scar you carry is the proof of that transformation. Think about your deepest wounds, the times life cut you open, the betrayals, the losses, the heartbreaks, the failures that left you on your knees in the moment you thought they would destroy you. But look at you now. You didn't just survive, you evolved. You are no longer the same person who was wounded. You are wiser, stronger, more resilient. That wound became a scar, and that scar became your reminder that you cannot be destroyed by the same pain twice. You already lived through it. You already carried it. You already rebuilt yourself from it. That is power no one can take from you. Scars also humble us. They remind us of our humanity, of our vulnerability, of the fact that we are not invincible. But that humility is not weakness. It's wisdom. It makes you respect the journey, respect the struggle, and respect the strength it took to stand back up. People without scars may look unbroken on the surface, but they are often fragile, untested. A person with scars has lived through storms. They have been cut open, burned, beaten down, and yet they rise with proof etched onto their skin and soul that nothing can hold them down forever. Every scar carries energy. When you see it, when you touch it, when you remember how you got it, it fuels you. It says, I've been here before, I know what it feels like, and I know I'm capable of surviving worse. That knowledge becomes a weapon. It removes fear, because you realize pain doesn't end you, it transforms you. Every scar tells you that you are capable of rising again, no matter how hard you fall. Scars also inspire others. When people see your scars, whether visible or hidden in your story, they see the living proof that survival is possible. Someone struggling in silence may look at your scars and realize they too can endure. Your scars become light for others in darkness. They become symbols of resilience, symbols of hope, symbols of power. That is why scars are not ugly. They are beautiful. They represent life's attempt to destroy you and your refusal to surrender. The greatest warriors, the greatest leaders, the greatest human beings are covered in scars. Not always on their skin, but always in their soul. Their scars carry their lessons. Their scars fuel their determination. Their scars make them dangerous because they know what it's like to be broken, and they know they cannot be broken the same way again. Every scar they carry makes them harder to defeat, because every scar is proof of a battle already won. When you look at your scars, don't see shame, see victory. Don't see weakness, see strength. Don't see ending, see rebirth. That scar is proof that life tried to end a version of you and it succeeded, but only so a stronger version could rise. Scars are symbols of transformation, of power, of the relentless human spirit that refuses to stay down. You don't hide your scars. You wear them as armor. You show them as proof that you are a warrior. You use them as reminders that nothing, no betrayal, no heartbreak, no failure can destroy you completely. Every scar is a new beginning. Every scar is a reminder that you have lived, that you have battled, that you have earned your strength. Without scars, you would not be who you are today. You would still be soft, fragile, untested. The scars are what shaped you. They are the marks of your rebirth, the evidence of your transformation, the symbols of your power. To embrace them, honor them, let them remind you not of the pain, but of the fact that you endured. Because every scar you carry means you survived something that was meant to break you. Every scar is proof that you are still here, and every scar is the signature of a warrior who cannot be destroyed. And so, when the weight of life crushes you, when pain cuts through your chest, when pressure feels unbearable, and scars remind you of battles long fought, understand this: none of it is there to destroy you. It is all carving you into the person you were meant to become. Brokenness lays the foundation of your strength. Pain proves that you are still alive. Pressure molds you into resilience. And every scar you carry is not a reminder of defeat, but of rebirth. You are not fragile. You are a warrior sculpted by fire. You are not unlucky. You're chosen to endure storms others could never survive. Every tear, every sleepless night, every wound you thought would never heal has already transformed you into someone stronger, someone wiser, someone unbreakable. Greatness is not found in comfort, it is born in chaos. And you, standing here with your scars, your pain, your resilience, are living proof of that greatness. So the next time life strikes, don't run, don't hide, don't curse it. Stand tall, breathe deep, and remind yourself, if I'm still here, I cannot be defeated. Because survival itself is victory, and you are destined for more.